Let's do it!
What would you say if I called you homophobic? Your thoughts?
That's just not my cup of tea.
Did he edit Comic Sans into his video? I'm like 90% sure that this is Comic Sans. Also, these people are very clearly to be, like, embarrassed for John Doyle. I'm so ready to see him just utterly embarrass himself. Man, look, okay. There are some people who can pull off man on the street type of content. Part of why Steven Crowder can actually pull this off, can actually pull off man on the street style interviews, is because he's like kind of jacked and kind of big. John Doyle is the opposite of that. And instead he's gonna look like he's just a very obvious racist or homophobe, however this goes. Destiny's Disciple of Cheese, thank you very much for the follow. Though, given that Nightbot immediately timed you out, I'm wondering if you're here in good faith. All bisexuals are actually a biscuit? I don't understand the spam joke. I don't understand it, but okay. It's true, I am bisexual, and I do love mouth-watering biscuits and gravy. Anyway, let's watch him embarrass himself. I'm very excited for this. Oh, Calm Like a Tom, you've never seen John Doyle? We watched, on stream, we watched his 2-hour-long anti-pornography documentary. He's incredible.
I could save her. Just kidding. Christ already saved her. That's the metric.
Wait. What's BDSM?
Are you gay?
Nah, hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Come on, find the gay gene. Put it right here. Put it right here. You can't do it.
What? Wow, look at how big-brained he is.
John, what's up? What's that?
Oh, just the new Michael Knowles book. What's up?
Okay, listen. You can't.
You know you have a P for a brain if you're reading a Michael Knowles book and need to highlight different points.
You got to Texas to make content, and you haven't put out a video in weeks. It's kind of gay.
No, you're right.
This is
and
making me
that's
upset.
Wait,
Archangel.
What?
Texas content gay.
Bro, that's it! That's literally it, bro! That's literally it!
John, I just want to know what's going on so I can help.
Bro.
This guy's been a content creator for like 5 years, and the audio quality on this is terrible. Like, absolutely terrible. Also, hey, John Doyle and I... Where are my Super Nintendo games? Anyway, I have... Oh, here they are. Never mind. John Doyle and I have the same video game. In the same condition. Look at that. Look at both of us. Super Mario World back there. Sitting in a glass case where it would be extremely inconvenient to be able to take it out and play with it. Because that's the #1 thing you look for in a video game. Something that you put in a glass case and cannot play with. Alright, there we go. My face is gross. But anyway, let's continue!
It doesn't even matter. You did it. You did it, man. You did it. What about your date? John, you forgot your camera!
Yeah, imagine having the time to play your video games. Yeah, I feel that.
Where the hell is John?
I don't know. We left without him.
Go, boys. Where did you just come from?
Oh, I hate the Antichrist.
Did you run all the way here?
I hate the Antichrist. You drove? Did you see the book I was reading?
Is he panting, "I hate the Antichrist"? What? Alright.
This video is sponsored by Bang Energy. No, it's not. We have sponsors though. This doesn't even work. Let's go. All right, gamers, here we are, Cowboys at the stockyards. We're gonna talk to Texans about Pride Month. Let's do it. I don't like talking to women. One of them has an earring.
Imagine opening your video saying, "I don't like talking to women."
How's it going?
Yeah, do you want to talk to us? Do you know what we just got done with? What? We just got done with Pride Month. You know about Pride Month? He knows about Pride Month.
You probably don't want to talk to me about Pride Month.
No. I just want to show you some photographs. I want to get an authentic reaction.
All right.
Okay, first photograph. What's your thoughts?
They got pride.
Okay, all right. Let's take it up a notch.
They got pride.
Your thought?
Oh no! People dressed up in costumes and makeup, the horror.
Thoughts?
That's just not my cup of tea.
You held back. I could tell you held back. It's all right.
Hey, I'm not in a position to do that. I'm a school teacher.
Okay, fair enough.
He managed to pick a school teacher who's just like, yeah, I'm a school teacher. I'm not very big on the gays, but also I'm not gonna be openly homophobic on camera.
So, I'm gonna blur that guy's face out because he told us he was a school teacher. But think about that. The American male is in such a state where he knows that what he's talking about, he knows that what he's looking at is maybe a little bit weird, we'll say. But he doesn't feel as though he's in a position to talk about it, even though, we come up, we've got the cowboy hats, we've got the cacti shirt. We're allies. We're his greatest ally. But he doesn't feel as though he can talk to normal average people about...
You think, John Doyle, you think this is normal average people? A bunch of people with a camera coming up to you and being like, "Hey, I want to talk to you about the gays, and I want you to react to the gays." Yeah, that's totally not weird at all, my dude. No wonder he's scared of talking to women.
What's going on in the media? Why is that? Well, because we put a camera in his face. I mean, they kind of invited it, but still, it's like, what kind of society do we live in to where now we can show people images of children being sexualized and they don't even feel like they can comment on it?
Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. If you see a child in, like, doing, like, a drag outfit, and you interpret that as the child being sexualized, that's you putting the sexualization on the child. Because drag isn't inherently sexual. Like, it's just clothing and makeup. And reading kids' books. It's not all like drag shows at the strip club, or like drag shows at the crunk club or the gay bar. Plenty of people do drag and are just like doing drag in a non-sexual way. Like, literally John Doyle in this video is showing his ass and showing us that he's interpreting these children as sexual. That's on him. That's him being a weirdo. Yeah, and kids aren't inherently sexual either. If you see a kid wearing a costume and you're like, that kid's being sexualized, you're the one doing the work there. Not the kid. Not the act of putting on a costume. It's not like they're wearing like BDSM clothing. They're wearing fully clothed outfits. If you go to any like child's dance recital, you're gonna see children wearing like less clothing than children doing drag, okay? Like, you're the one sexualizing the kids in this context, and that's a you problem, not the kids' problem. I'm showing the video? Yeah. One of the things we do on this channel is debunk right-wing propaganda.
If it's going to be on the public record. Very scary. I don't know if I'm a fan of it.
Stygian Phantasm,
Let's see what
thank you
other
for the
people
follow.
have to say. Transition.
I feel like if God is in it, then it's good, and I feel like a lot of those things hold a lot of evil, so
Yeah.
I don't really support it. But myself, I love gay people.
We love gay people too.
So,
We're big gay people
but when
fans
it
and
comes
respecters.
to like mass
He hates gay people. He was literally on a panel arguing against gay people's right to exist in America.
productions of like human psyche, trying to reach the media, trying to reach us on all these platforms, especially children.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like there's some dark energy.
Why do you think it always focuses towards children? Like, it always starts with adults and things like that, but it always ends up towards children.
Children are impressionable and they're naive.
True. So true. Well, are you from Texas?
From Dallas.
Okay, we're from we just moved to Fort Worth from Michigan about 4 months ago.
Bringing your liberal values, John.
Big change. Well, the politics weren't exactly that good up in Michigan. But that's actually why we're down here. We wanted to ask you because you look like you probably have an opinion on this. You know, last month we just got done with Pride Month. Curious to get what your thoughts were on that and what you think about how it's promoted in the media.
I'm okay with it. It's just the other stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
The destruction of property. That's the only thing that.
John's going into this event trying to find homophobic people to the best of his ability, and even like this 80-year-old guy who's like, yeah, them liberal values up in Michigan, they're destroying America. Like, even this guy is like, yeah, ain't nothing wrong with being gay and celebrating Pride Month. Again, when people tell you there hasn't been any progress leftward, you need to like tell them, nah, we've even got like the 80-year-olds on our side, okay? Can I ask you a question? I'm struggling with the term colonizer. To me, it's an obvious and overt racial slur. I tried to bring this up a little while ago, but I was instantly pummeled with insults and blocked by the moderator, and I didn't know what I did wrong. All I did was bring up what I thought this was the place for it. I consider myself very liberal. I thought this was it. I was in proper company to talk about something like that. Stygian Phantasm, have you been here before? Because it's saying you're a first-time chatter, and I don't recognize you from my community. But I don't find anything inherently racialized about colonizer. Though I would say colonization is largely something that is undertaken by nations, not by individuals. So perhaps calling someone a colonizer is like counter-effective, anti-effective, ineffective. There we go. But also, there's nothing inherently white about colonizing. Countries that are predominantly non-white also do colonialization. A big example of this being China right now. Japan did it quite frequently prior to World War II. Yeah, so there's nothing, I would say, inherently white about colonization. Turf is not a slur. Very true. Best male barbers are gay, my mom always says. I have no idea. I've never been to a barber. I mean, look, if the worst oppression you face is someone calling you a colonizer and then laughing about it, I think you're okay. I think you'll be able to live even if you didn't like the experience. People get called things that they don't like all the time. I've been personally, I've been threatened with death, like 20 times tonight. So, I mean, like, some things just deal with and, like, get over them. Now, if it's a systemic issue where, like, literally anytime you go out and do anything, you're surrounded by people saying, "Hello, colonizer," like, "Get out of the country," or something like that. I don't know what accent I was trying to do there. I don't know. Maybe you're in, like, a racist position, like a position of, like, other people being racist to you, but I suspect that's not the case. It's true. I am part of a system that colonized North America. This is true. Also, I answered your question. I don't know if male barbers are good. I don't think I've ever had a man cut my hair. And I don't know the sexual orientation of anyone who's ever cut my hair. So, no comment. Stop being weird, champ. My father rapes my mother and I'm born because of it. Am I a rapist? No. Fucking weird questions.
Do you mind if we show you a couple pictures of some of the stuff that they were promoting and just kind of get your thoughts on it?
Well, we have 7 o'clock reservation.
All right, I don't want to hold you then, but I appreciate your time.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. The utter state of the boomer. They are showing this to your children. They are molding their brains. Well, hot damn, I just care about my property rights. It's like, good guy. Well, I just want to know what the Texan opinion on last month was. You know, last month...
He's just trying to find people to be homophobic on camera. This is amazing. And he has to rationalize it each time. Conservatives posting their L's.
It was Pride Month. We were having parades. We were celebrating the LGBT community. We were, on full display with all sorts of weird BDSM. Excuse me, I shouldn't say
Honestly, this is weirdly affirming my faith in humanity.
Prideful BDSM stuff at parades that were being...
Oh yeah, he approached an elderly couple Amanda smashed and asked them what they thought about Pride Month, and they were like, "Yeah, it's okay. Just don't like it when people get together and smash stuff, you know?" And like, he's basically, John Doyle is a very religious Nazi, and he is trying to go around Texas to get people to be homophobic on camera. And so so far he hasn't found one, but we'll see. Maybe one of these people will surprise us.
Wait. What's BDSM?
I love that question. That is when, how would you even describe that, Blake?
He doesn't know what BDSM means. He's asking people about it and he doesn't know what it means. Oh, goodness.
I mean, essentially it's when homosexuals and those similar torture themselves with leather and chains and whips.
Neither of them know what it means. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my stream, TYT Raiders. Thank you so much for the raid. My name is Riverboat Jack. I'm your local socialist, and I advocate for socialism, workers owning their workplaces, decommodification, and I talk about politics on the daily. We just finished covering the new infrastructure bill that got through committee in the Senate. We're very excited about it. And now we are watching a video by John Doyle. Now, if you guys don't know who John Doyle is, I'll quickly catch you up. John Doyle is a far-right Catholic nationalist whose views very closely align with like Nazis. And I will call him a Nazi. Welcome to UIT viewers. I'm so excited to have you here. So we're watching him, and he's attempting for the first time to do man on the street interviews, and we're just having a good laugh at his expense. So the goal in this video is basically he's trying to get people to say homophobic stuff on camera and failing spectacularly. Also, please hit the follow button. I would very much appreciate it. We are currently in the middle of a partner push. We're getting pretty close. And consider clicking the little picture of my face below stream so I get credit for your lovely, lovely eyeballs. I would very much appreciate it. And thank you again for being here. Shout out to TYT, one of my favorite channels to watch while I'm off stream. So everyone who hasn't followed them should definitely follow the Young Turks. You know TYT? I know some people who are on the inside track, you know. Thank you so much for the sorry, I've been kind of missing out. Calm Like a Tom, thank you very much for the 5 tier 1 subs. Mewtwo appeared, thank you for the follow. Asian Sailor, thank you for the follow. Rude Ricky, there we go. Thank you for the follow. Irked, thank you for gifting 6 tier 1 community subs. I appreciate you very, very much. Spooky Midwestern, thank you for the 100 bits. And Floco Wesos, I probably am not pronouncing that right, but thank you very much for the follow. And thank you very much for the lovely hype train that is getting off to a nice start on the climb to level 3. I very much appreciate that. Hello and welcome, everybody. And for those of you who are unaware, you can use your channel points to redeem different sounds. For example, you can make me do this, which somebody just redeemed. For you, Archangel the Cub. Daddy, thank you very much. Geronimus Prime, thank you for the 24 bits. And I will also hydrate with this delicious Diet Coke. Also, I challenge you all to hit level 5. Alright. Let's get into this. Hail Soybeck. Yeah. Alright, there we go. We got it out of our system. Let's go!
And do it in public so the children can see.
Like 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay, I'm gonna back this up to the start of this interaction because it's absolutely hilarious. Fire Red Emblem, thank you for the 2 tier 1 subscriptions. I appreciate it.
We're, on full display with all sorts of weird BDSM, excuse me, I shouldn't say weird, prideful BDSM stuff at parades that were being attended.
Wait. What's BDSM?
I love that question. That is when, how would you even describe that, Blake?
I mean, essentially it's when homosexuals and those similar torture themselves with leather and chains and whips and do it in public so the children can see.
Like 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh.
Also, BDSM, not relegated to just the gay community. In fact, a lot of the straights seem to enjoy it quite a bit as well, as evidenced from the book he just referenced, 50 Shades of Grey, which is about a straight couple. But anyway. Oh, goodness. Also, for the record, because neither of them know what BDSM means and couldn't tell her what it actually means, it means bondage, dominance, and submission / sadomasochism. So that is what it means. So yeah, bondage, dominance, submission, and masochism.
In public.
Right.
Also,
and it's actually, it was
True
our
Wabi, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub gift.
argued in legitimate publications such as the Washington Post and opinion articles that should be promoted at these pride events so that children have a proper education as to what being gay is actually all about. You look like a mother, am I wrong?
You are not wrong.
The mama bear instinct is kicking in. What are your thoughts?
Was my jaw set like that? Well, first of all, I think anything that has to do with teaching children about sexuality happens in the home and in private. I don't care what you do and how you do it, but keep it private and respect other people's.
Look at that. Look at that. She's not being openly homophobic. I don't care what you do as long as you do it in your own home. All right. I'll take, you know what? I'll take not actively a bigot. I'll take that.
Sense of morality.
Very well articulated. I can tell you're a radio personality. Blake, show her the pictures.
Yes, ma'am.
First thing that comes to your mind. Do you know what that is?
I have no idea.
There was a music video shot, and the concept of the music video was there's an African-American rapper who is homosexual, and the concept of the video was, I'm going to embrace this, descend into hell, have sex with Satan to really just show all those uptight prudes that it's totally okay. And
Also, this is clearly from somebody who's never actually watched the Lil Nas X video. Lil Nas X descends into hell, doesn't have sex with the devil, gives the devil a lap dance to distract him and murder the devil. Just in case you haven't seen the music video, what he just described was not the music video. You hate Trump, Travis Scott fan? Well, we are not in favor of Trump around these parts, so you're in good company. Thank you so much, by the way, for everyone who participated in that level 3 hype train. I very much appreciate it.
And that's part of the music video. This went viral on YouTube, and that was shown to millions of children throughout the world.
Well, first of all, if children saw that, parents, you need to be doing a better job of watching what your children are exposed to, because you are the boss, they are the child until they're 18. So, and for this gentleman that I'm watching, you know what, to each his own, and what I would say is, bless his heart, I'll pray for him.
What about when they bring children into it and they dress them up they're like drag queens and they dye their hair and put on makeup? That's a little boy.
What I would say is, where's that little child's mom and dad?
It's so true. It's so true. And
So,
even
mom and dad, we need to be doing a better job with our children.
Damn, he managed to find someone who said something mildly bad about the gays. Found one.
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. I'm by a grill now, so you know that I made it home safely, and I'm just a normal guy like you. But here's the
Arson
thing.
Gamer X69,
Father's Day is coming
thank
up,
you for the follow.
and I can promise you that your dad doesn't want a mug or a tie. Oh, well, but John, Father's Day...
Oh, we're gonna skip the ads. You don't get to advertise on my time.
And then he drops his glasses and he breaks his glasses. It's the same thing. It's like I am deprived of the excitement that is inherent to the possibility of being incorrect. It's a game for everybody else.
Oh yes, also I do D&D. On Tuesday nights, I usually play D&D. I run a D&D campaign with some other political streamers. And it's just, tonight we had a last minute cancellation, so we might be playing it tomorrow night, or we'll be catching up next week on Tuesday.
Else. Let the chips fall where they may. The coin toss. I don't have that luxury.
I also do world design on professional tabletop RPGs, so I do that as well.
Because I'm always correct. So you guys benefit, but I'm kind of, I get bored. That prediction was basically as follows. We go down to a nice little wholesome Texan community here, a nice little tourist trap, and I expected to get a bunch of people saying, I don't really mind, just find God, don't shove it in our face. And that's just really the case. So this tells us two things. It tells us, one, that the conservative position in terms of rhetorical approach to LGBT issues is incorrect. It's misrepresented. No one has contempt in their heart for these people. No one has malice. No one has hatred. It is simply, hey, find God, and also don't throw it in our children's faces, which is exactly what a decent person would predict. These are decent people, and here we are.
Well, okay. Except by don't throw it in our children's faces, you mean, like, you can't have two men kissing on television, or like two women kissing on television, or like a trans person in a video game. Like, if any of that happens, suddenly television is too political. Suddenly that video game, way too political. Suddenly, the movie just like art house fancy pants, okay? Only for the Oscars, okay? Like, they say don't expose our children to it, but when they say that, it's like, do you want your children to like live in a iron dome, like in a bubble? Like, what like, how are we supposed to keep gay people out of your child's life? Because Republicans demand, essentially, that queer people remove themselves from the public eye for the sake of the children. Won't you think of the children? Won't you think of the children? You can't use your right to peacefully assemble in public. Think of the children, you know? It's using the kind of this rhetoric of live and let live, but applying it in a way that takes the bigotry and kind of moves it sideways. So I'm not a bigot. I'm just really worried about my kid Nathan's soul. I mean, he saw some of that RuPaul's Drag Race at a friend's house, and now I caught him wearing his sister's clothes a few times, and oh man, he better not be trans. Like, yeah, exactly.
You want to talk to us? Oh, I mean anything. Literature, politics, art.
All right, I'm a Republican. I will not get vaccinated. I refuse to get vaccinated. You're not going to infringe on my rights down here in Texas. How we do it. If y'all hungry, come eat.
We'd love to hear that. We just got done with, what's your name, by the way?
I'm Cece.
Cece, we just got done with Pride Month, right?
Oh, okay. Pride Month. Gotcha.
Well, judging by your tone, I feel like you have something to say. Give us your 30-second take on Pride Month.
It is what it is. I mean, if you choose to be a part of the LGBTQ, all for it, you know. That's just not something that I personally find, you know, it's against my religion, but all for it for anybody else. I just not a fan.
I've noticed
Hey,
that
Carol.
too. I've noticed that as we've talked to different people around here, everyone is very just like, hey, it's against my religion, but do your own thing. No one has the hate in their heart that so many people ascribe to us simply for disagreeing with the narrative. But that being said, I have some photos I would like to show you.
Okay.
Your initial
Also, again, when people say like a policy is transphobic or something, they're not saying that, oh, the people behind this policy have a deep hatred of trans people. It's more like these people are indifferent to trans people suffering, or indifferent to gay people suffering, or trans kids suffering, or like they're indifferent to all of these things because they think they're right, which has a negative outcome for people in the LGBTQ community. When they're talking about the transphobia or the homophobia or the biphobia, like they're not talking about people being literally afraid of them, or literally just seething with hatred. Good night, little green person. Also, everyone's saying she's a plant. Maybe.
reaction.
I don't like him. I don't like what he posts. I think that it is just very disrespectful to any and everybody who does have a religion, you know, basis against that, I guess.
And you'll notice too that video was like #1 trending on YouTube. That was shown to probably tens of millions of children around the world. What about this one?
So I can tell you right now, a lot of the things that trend on social media based on like, oh, sorry y'all, I just had a fly on my glasses. Based on everything that's trending on social media has to do with, like the bigger picture, the deep state. I mean, they're putting things out on social media on what they want people to see, not based on what's actually happening. Like, have y'all heard anything about the big explosion 100 miles off the coast of Florida? No. Government blew up 40,000 pounds of bombs in the ocean. Gulf of Mexico's on fire right now. The rig out there, it blew up. I mean, these are things that are serious.
Okay, this is the one he found. This is the like kind of homophobic lady that he found. Even if she's a plant, she's like living in a completely different reality than we are. Like, just completely different. Arson Gamer, actually, there was a story about like a methane or a gas leak from an offshore oil platform that ignited into like an explosion that was igniting at the surface of the water from like the pressure. But like, that's not the government dropping secret bombs in the middle of the ocean for no reason. Like, stuff doesn't trend on social media because of the deep state. It's because of how the algorithm works. We're bombing the... Yes, we are bombing the ocean for oil. Next plan, we must invade the ocean and take over the sea people's domain.
Seriously happening that are causing all these tropical storms to happen that you're not hearing about. They're just talking about what they want you to hear because they just want that division between the United States.
Why do you think that they focus so much on those types of things and really just pushing that in people's faces as opposed to, as you alluded to, Bill Gates controlling the weather cycles?
Because it has to do with covering things up. I mean, the government's behind so many things that nobody knows about based on what they're...
Did he just say Bill Gates controls the weather cycles? Chat, I need you to like fact check what I just heard. Okay, cool. All right, I'm glad I'm not crazy.
They're doing. They are putting things out there to hide the truth on what they're really...
Oh, right, Floco Wessos. I remember seeing that. Yeah, they blew up an aircraft carrier to test its strength. That was pretty cool. All right.
Doing because they don't want people involved. They don't want people to know. They don't want anybody's opinion. They just want to go through with what they're doing.
It's so true. I tend to reject the whole Disney love at first sight. Oh, I really just love this girl. But when she said deep state, I felt something. But I don't know. I'm not...
John, you're a married...
Maybe I'll go back and I'm going to get a gum wrapper and just write, do you like me? Checkbox, yes. Checkbox, no. And I'll just... I'll leave it and maybe I'll circle back and then we'll see. She might be the one, boys. Who knows? I could save her. Just kidding. Christ already saved her. That's the metric. Thinking you can save a girl is the wrong approach. Only Christ can save her. Maybe if you're a good enough man, then he'll give her to you, which is epic.
Look, I'm not an anti-religion person, but if you think like God is going to give you another human being, I'm sorry, that's not how respecting other human beings as autonomous and independent individuals works. You aren't given a woman. Like, I'm sorry, nobody gives me to anyone, motherfucker.
I don't miss. I just don't miss. You know what last month was? He's doing the math.
March.
What?
March? No,
Justice Demon.
June.
Let's go. Do you know what June is?
No, a month?
It is a month. That's correct. Your score is neutral. June was Pride Month.
Oh.
What do you think about Pride Month, big guy?
It's all right.
It's all right? You're neutral?
Yeah, I guess.
Are you gay?
Nah, hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no, I'm not gay.
What's your opinion on the whole thing, the way it's being celebrated in the media, it's being taught to children now in public school? What do you think about that? You're from Texas?
Yeah.
What do you think about that as a Texan?
I really don't care for it.
Do you mind if we show you some pictures and just get your immediate reaction?
I do have to say, as a member of the gay community, you shouldn't make assumptions about other people's sexuality. But the way that this guy just denied being gay was a very gay way to deny being gay. Yo, no, I'm not gay.
Yeah, hell no.
Okay, we got a hell no on that one.
Second.
That is tragic.
One word. How could you describe this picture?
Tragic.
Tragic?
Yes.
All right, this one. One word.
I don't even know what to say to that.
All right.
At a kid's party?
Yeah.
Come on.
What about... See, it's interesting because for some reason as young men, we can't help but look at that and just think, that's kind of silly. That's a little bit silly. What if your son wanted to do that?
I mean, it is what it is, to be honest.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
John Doyle, yeah, like I thought, we'd just go out in public and we'd find a lot of people who were just totally chill with gay people, but also I'm gonna ask very leading questions and phrase it in a way to try and get these people to agree with me that being gay is degenerate. But then every single person he talks to is like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's pretty unfortunate, but I mean, they're gay. There's nothing to do about that. Goodness.
Oh, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that.
All right, man.
I don't know about all that either.
John, what do you think about that? Give your breakdown.
So I think that he basically represents the forgotten gamers of America, the average young man in this country who we don't really have a strong opinion against that type of stuff, but we just know that when it's shoved in our face, we can kind of look at it and be like, and I quote, nah, about all that. It's just...
Yeah, when the average gamer encounters that cutscene where one of the gays comes out, and you suddenly realize that you just invested 20 hours of your life into a JRPG that has a gay in it. Suddenly that game is too political. Even though it was about overthrowing an evil empire that was installing a fascist regime, it suddenly got too political because of the gay.
Just don't want to. And that's the problem. We were sold on this idea that it was just private individuals in the privacy of their own home or whatever, but such turned out to not be the case. And now we're at a point, arriving very quickly, where it's being pushed in the media, has been for decades, in public schools, and now you look at the rates, not coincidentally, of LGBT identification amongst the youngest generation, and it's skyrocketing. And the response to this is, oh, it's because they've always been 20% gay. It's just because now it's an accepting culture or whatever. If that were true, you'd see the rates of self-identification increasing roughly proportionally amongst all generations because everyone would be living in this culture. Everyone would be like, oh, okay, we can all come out now. That's not true.
Wait. You do see it increasing proportionately. As time goes on, younger generations are growing up and learning that it's okay to be trans or okay to be gay or bi or pan or, any of these other terms, that's why, Zoomers are the most likely to identify as LGBTQ. So, yeah, adults who grew up in a time where they didn't know what trans people are or were, yeah, they're still gonna have a really hard time coming around to the idea that they might be trans. But they're still trans. They still exist. They would probably just call themselves oh, I'm a straight dude. I'm a straight dude. I just like sucking dick sometimes. Or yeah, I'm just a normal guy. It's just on the weekends I dress up in pantyhose and high heels, and I feel like I can finally be myself. But they wouldn't call themselves trans, or they wouldn't call themselves bi. So remember that the culture you grew up in matters when we're talking about self-identification of what your sexuality or gender is. And that's why we're seeing millennials being more likely to be consider themselves LGBTQ, and now Zoomers being more likely to consider themselves LGBTQ. And that might continue when it comes to Generation Alpha, which, by the way, is what the generation after the Zoomers is called. Chat, blow your homies.
True. It's only in the younger generations is it skyrocketing, is it going up. All the other generations, it's staying about the same in terms of overall proportion. We also know that there's no biological factor in what manifests this other than perhaps prenatal hormone exposure, but science has not found what's referred to as the gay gene. Decades of research, millions and millions in grants and funding, and they haven't found it. Come on, find the gay gene. Put it right.
That might indicate that there isn't a gay gene. That might actually indicate that there isn't one gene that is responsible for your sexuality or gender. It might it might actually turn out, John, that biology is complicated. And why people think the way they do and believe the way they do is even more complicated. Come on now.
Right here. Put it right here. You can't do it. Somebody make an argument from environmentalism on this fool for me. Oh, hi, you're back. Right about now, I wish I had a friend to play some ping pong with, but I guess I'm not doing too well. You know who is doing well? Gun owners. He knows. Look at this guy. He's ahead of the curve. What are your thoughts on Pride Month, CJ?
I mean, good they have, like, it's good they celebrated, but, I mean, I don't know, I kind of wish there was a month for, like, soldiers and stuff like that, other than just a day.
Totally true. Did you serve, or do you have family that served?
My grandpa did in Vietnam.
Okay. What about you?
Yes, my grandpa was also in the army and all that, so.
I'm not going to let you dodge.
And they sucked so much dick.
What's your opinion on Pride Month?
You know,
Go on.
good for them, right? But, I mean, I have nothing to relate to it, so it's them. I'm going to respect it, but not my thing.
Do you mind if we show you some photographs and just get your first reaction?
All right, I like the artisticness. That's all, I like it.
That's every woman that we show that to is like, wow, their makeup is so, like, well done. Okay, continue, Blake. You see that music video?
Oh, wasn't he, like, going down the pole?
Yes, he was grinding on Satan.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's just not my taste, but...
What do you think about how that's being mass marketed to
Dude, this guy's kind of turned on.
children?
I think it's... it depends.
I'd like it to be, like, later on, so, like, because it's weird to grow up, to, like, you grow up to learn a certain way, but
Yeah.
I'd rather that be, like, you figure that out on your own later on in life.
What do you think about the child drag queen story hours at the public libraries? Have you seen those?
I have not,
So
no.
literally what it is they'll bring in drag queens at taxpayer-funded libraries, and they'll have them read stories to children, and they'll teach them how to twerk, and they'll do all sorts of, like, seductive dances.
I don't...
What? Look, okay. I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. If you look at a kid who's dancing, or if you're looking at, like, a kid in an outfit that is, like, sparkly and frilly or whatever, and your thought is, damn, that's a sexy kid, you're the problem in this situation. It's not the kid's fault. Like, go to any like child, like, dance recital, okay? I've been to a couple, like my niece, she dances. Those kids wear, like, little leotards. You don't see, like, John Doyle going around being like, wow, look at these sexualized children. Look at how the dance community has ruined these children. Like, no. But he's applying the same thought process to kids who are just wearing different outfits, or kids who are just dancing in another way. He's just like, he's watching these kids like, they're dancing so seductively. John Doyle, stop sexualizing children. That's on you.
Yeah, I don't like that. I feel like, again, learn later on. Make your own decisions when you're older.
I agree. You should at least wait until you're 18 to be grinding on Lucifer.
No. That's disgusting.
Yeah. No,
Exactly.
any minor grinding on Lucifer is bad parenting. But if you're 20, sure.
Okay, yeah, you're on your own.
an
Do
adult.
whatever, yeah.
If you were king for a day and you could do one thing, what would you do?
Oh my gosh.
Queen for a day. I apologize.
That's all right. You know what? That doesn't bother me. You can call me a king if you want. You
Well,
can call me
nowadays,
a queen
when
if
you
want.
misgender people, it might be a hate crime.
I know where your heart is coming from, and you didn't do it maliciously. So why would it insult me? I'm confident in my.
Well, Satan doesn't exist, so it literally doesn't have a gender.
Humanity, my sexuality, who I am, and if you misjudge me, then that's not on me, that's on you. And I'm not going to be mad at you for that.
Unless you could get a book deal and you can go on CNN and you can get all sorts of publicity, but I can tell that doesn't matter to you. These earthly pleasures are not of your direct concern. I respect that. No. But queen for a day, your one policy.
Oh my gosh, I just wish that people would
True.
love God and know
Weird
God
beards.
better. We all have a higher power. We all come from someplace higher. Embrace that and find out what your purpose in life is. And your higher power, you have a reason. Every day we get up and put our feet on the floor and get out of bed and take a breath. That means our job's not done yet.
So true. What would you say?
Asks what would you do if you were queen for a day. Answers that she would turn the country into a theocracy. Cool. These people live in a different world, man.
If I called you homophobic, you would laugh. That's the perfect reaction.
I would laugh.
Just laugh. Just no, you're the weird one. I'm not weird.
Yeah.
no.
He's a nice guy and everything. He dresses very well, but what can I say? The young Texan blonde women, they can't help but laugh around. I don't know what it is. It's an infectious personality. They love homophobia. What can I say? Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Thanks for joining.
John's weird as heck.
Joining us on our journey in the stockyards, where we asked some questions. We had some conversations. We made some friends. We fell in love. And we learned to be reborn all in under an hour. What does this tell us? It tells us that Texans don't have hatred in their hearts. Hate has no home here, and if it did, BlackRock would probably buy it and make you into a debt slave, because usury capitalism is epic, I suppose. I digress. The point being that...
By the way, notice how he used the term usury capitalism? For those of you who might be confused by what he meant by that, John Doyle is so dedicated to like this idea of his Catholic fascism that he believes that it is sinful to get interest on your investments or to collect interest on really anything. And so he calls it usury capitalism because anything that's not based upon like actual wealth he views as immoral. So if you're getting like credit, that's immoral to John Doyle. It's weird stuff, you know. He just saw the Middle Ages, was like, yo, it was pretty based when we lived in that era where people were so bigoted against Jewish people that they forced them to be bankers so that they could sin on Christian behalf. Yeah, it's not great. Might be an anti-Semitic dog whistle too. Well, yeah, of course. John Doyle believes in the deep state. John Doyle probably believes in the Jewish question. It's not outside the realm of possibility here.
The most red state, the most gun-toting state. They don't have problems with people. No one has contempt.
Also, Texas is turning purple.
For these different progressive movements, they just want to live their life, walk around the stockyards, drink in public, because that's what America's about, arguably. We'll see you next time, folks, on the next Heck Off Commie video, because there is more content coming. I have no excuse for my absence. It's delayed gratification, whatever, that's a cope. I apologize. We'll be back at it. I'm now going to fade away into the distance like Chris at the end of Stand By Me, leaving you, the audience, to reflect. And I'm going to give the microphone to my buddy, proxy cameraman, Paldo, and he's going to improvise a narration as I walk away. Make it somewhat noble, like I died an honorable death at 23. I'll let you, even though I'm 21. I got 2 years left. Glasses half full kind of guy.
He's 21 years old. Fuck. Imagine being that young and being just like an outright like neo-Nazi.
Okay.
Stage egg energy.
And it wasn't the last time we would see John Doyle. He continued to gain influence and power, making countless libs dangerous to themselves along the way. Although it was hard work, he gutted it out like he always did. Last week, he entered into a Culver's restaurant. Just ahead of him, two apparently rival gang members got into an argument. One of them pulled a high point. John, who would always remind everyone to view themselves as individuals, tried to break it up. He was lit the f*** up, died almost instantly.
I'm not gonna say anything about that ending because nothing I say can do that ending justice. Yeah, that also 100% not improvised. That was all added later. Can't wait to see him in 5 years when he looks 40. Yeah.